Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sunny and I'm a software engineer. In this video, we are going to talk about my PayPal interview experience which was for an SD2 role. But this video is going to be a generic video where this video is going to be helpful not just for SD2 but also for SD1 and freshers. Basically, from this video, you will understand that if you are preparing for PayPal then how you have to prepare, what are the rounds, on which topic questions are asked, how important is DSA, what is the difficulty level of questions. If you have to prepare for DSA then what level of difficulty level or what topics you can expect. We will also see which other rounds are there, like what type of questions are asked about project experience. What is the hiring manager round, what questions are asked, what are the behavioral questions. So you will understand all these things in this video and I will make you go through the slides, what questions were asked in each round, what were the questions of DSA, what were the questions of project experience. We will see all these things in this video, so watch this video till the end. You will get to know a lot from this video. So there are a lot of queries of students who are applying out of college. They have a lot of queries like how to prepare, what type of questions are asked. So I thought I will make this video. This video is going to be helpful for freshers, SD1, SD2. Basically you will get an overall idea of how to prepare for the interview. How to prepare and what are the expectations, like what type of questions can be asked. So this video is going to be very helpful, and yes, recently a lot of openings have come in PayPal. So a lot of students have applied. I have also referred a lot of students who reached out to me. So I am making this video for all of them so that you get an overall idea of what and how to prepare. So let's start this video. Watch this video till the end. I will also give a bonus tip which will help you a lot in the interview preparation. So let's start with the video. So my first round was DSA based, so I was asked 2 questions in this. This round was of 1 hour. So the first question was based on the linked list. This is a very popular question. Basically I can't tell the question directly exactly what it was, but yes, this question is very common and I have made a video on this on my channel, so you can check out on my competitive programming playlist. There are some videos made on the linked list. There is a question from that, so let me tell you what was the expectation here. First thing, you should clear the linked list. The implementation of the linked list, basic implementation, traversal should come. After that, in this question, there are multiple ways. Any DSA based question you can do it naive way and you can also give optimal solution. So the initial solution that I gave, I told naive solution and then optimized it. So basically 3 things are seen here. One is how you are analyzing that question, how you are approaching it. Second is your solution is optimal or not. Third is implementation. You have to show by implementing there. You have to write pseudocode basically. Syntax doesn't matter here, but logic matters, edge cases matter. So here they will ask you to write the code also. So overall they were asking me 2 questions. So I told the solution and then also gave the code link. So this was the first question which was based on the linked list. It is a very important data structure. Like in many interviews they are asked whether it is a service-based company or a product-based company. Mainly in product-based, generally they are asked a lot. So just remember that linked list is one of the important topic in DSA, where you should know basic implementation, traversals and some applications, like you should also know the applications of this data structure. So overall I would say it was a medium question which was done easily, and the second question was an array-based question, basically on some manipulation. So this is also the same. You have to tell the optimal solution in a new way. Along with that you have to tell the time complexity and space complexity also. So the overall expectation of the question is that you tell the solution which is optimal, analyze the time complexity and space complexity. So this was overall. So in 1 hour I got 2 questions and I solved both of them. So this was about the first round. The second round was design plus DSA. So the round which was started was basically a design round. It was very basic for me, like once you're working in a software industry for a couple of years, all these things become known to you. So here basically they were checking whether I know MVC architecture or not, then whatever framework I am using. Generally you use very popular framework like Spring Boot in the industry. So basically they were seeing how much experience I have used on this, and they gave a particular question. It was a very easy question. They basically asked you to design. For example, I will give you that you have to make a payment service. Payment service will give you a card details and you have to use that card details to check out the payment. So what is the expectation in this? This is not an exact question. I am giving a similar type of example. So here they don't expect you to solve it, like tell me the exact low-level things. Here it is not that. Here it is basically design. You were given this question. Now how will you design this? Like what will be the layers? Controller layer, service layer, data layer. And then basically they can ask you to write a layer code, like I was asked to write service layer and controller layer. Basically it was asked to write a little snippet of all the layers, where basically they were checking that how I'm exposing the controller, how I'm using the annotations of Spring Boot, then how I'm writing the names of the methods. Basically the definition of the whole method was not to be written. Just the signature had to be written, and you had to tell that this will be the signature of the method, this will be the parameter, and this output will be obtained by calling this method. So these kind of things they ask. So basically they were seeing that how much you have done the hands-on code, right? And along with this they asked me about the test. I have a lot of experience in writing unit tests. So I told them that what type of tests will be there, what library I have used in the test classes. Then how will the tests be, how do I write unit tests. So that was all normal conversation mostly. So yeah, so this was the overall design perspective. In this basically whenever you are showing by writing code, so there you make sure that whatever annotations you are using, it might be possible that you have forgotten, right? So you don't remember the exact syntax, that doesn't matter, you convey what you want to do. And what library you have used, so they will relate it, so this is not hard and fast. So yeah, this was also a medium level round for me. After that in the same round I was asked one more question, which was an Arabic question. So I have made a video on this on my channel, so I had asked this question too. But unfortunately in that particular round, what happens is that when you are giving interviews, so sometimes you get nervous, right? So you don't get the exact optimal solution in your mind. So I had asked this question, I remembered that I had asked this question, but at that time I was not able to click that what was the optimal solution. So this is also array based, array manipulation basically. So check my playlist, there you will get a question on array based. So this was also a medium level question, which I had not solved optimally. But yeah, I gave a naive solution. After that it was a little optimized, it could have been further optimized, there was scope. But that is enough. Basically let's check that how is your problem solving approach. Like what is your thinking? First thing you have to think aloud, whatever you are thinking you are conveying. And then you are approaching that question by breaking it down and going towards the optimal solution. So from that interviewer gets to know that yeah, he has understood this problem and he is trying to solve it. So this was also a good round, like after this also there was positive feedback. So after this my third round happened, so the third round was the hiring manager round. So in a product-based company, many engineering managers basically lead the project. So one of the engineering managers conducted this round, so he asked me a lot of questions. The first question is basically a combination of both technical and behavioral. So the first question in this round started with a behavioral question. So the first question he asked me was that you have come for this interview. And how are you sure that this new employer, like I am giving interviews for PayPal, so that is right for your career decision, like you must have thought something before applying for this paper. So there he was asking why do you think that your career decision that you have decided to join this new company is right. So whatever was my point of view, whatever was my understanding, whatever was my reasoning, I told that. So this was like a normal conversation. After that he started asking about my project. Like how big team I have worked in, what was my team size, what was my role, what domain I have worked in. Basically he tries to say that though you are a software engineer, you are a developer, but it is not necessary that you are just writing code. Along with that as you go to the senior level, you do a lot of things. So as you become senior, you acquire different roles also. You don't just code. First when you come out of college, you are a fresher. So you are given stories, acceptance criteria, and according to that you write your code. So as you become senior, you have to do the whole project. Suppose there is a project, a small initiative, you have to do that. So you have to analyze first, you have to see what stories you have to do against it. After that you have to do some POCs or not, you have to do that whole analysis phase also. Basically in the initial stage you do BS, but as you go to the senior level, you do tech leads, BS. So they were trying to understand whether I have exposure or not, apart from coding, what else I have done. Apart from that, as they asked me project related questions, I told them which projects I have worked in. So once I explained my project, they started asking if there were any scalability issues. If the design is scalable, what can you do for scaling, what can you do to increase the throughput? So they mostly come to system design questions, where they care more about scalability, throughput and other stuff. So I told them according to my experience, there are some things that you haven't done, but still you get knowledge. If there are some scaling related questions, how do you solve them? Sometimes it's not necessary that you know all the questions, but whatever they were asking me, I was able to answer them. So that interviewer was very satisfied with my answer. And if there were any inputs from the interviewer, they used to tell me that they can also do this. So you can also say that it was a proper conversation where you talk to your interviewer. That you are designing a system, so how to make it scalable, how to keep the throughput high, how to make your system resilient, so these kind of things are discussed there. And this round is mostly for senior engineers. Because as a fresher, as a SDE1, you don't have much experience on these things. So you can expect that you won't be asked so much details about SDE1 and fresher. So other things will be there, like you can expect similar questions in DSA round. Apart from this, I was asked about low-level design. Means low-level design and its implementation choices. Like whatever tech stack I had in my previous project. So why did we use that tech stack? What were its benefits? What were the alternatives? Why did we use that tech stack? If I am using Spring Boot, Kotlin, reactive programming, then why am I doing it? How does it benefit your project basically? So this was related to the overall project. Apart from this, they also asked what is the definition of done according to you. Like when you ship a particular story in production. When will you say that story is complete? Like what is the definition of done according to you? Like when can you say that this story or code you have written can go into production? So basically their expectation, this is also for a senior software engineer. This question will be asked very rarely to a fresher or SDE1. So here also their expectation was that how much experience you have. To check the quality of a particular code and what all you need to take it to production. So here basically what I was answering. Before a code goes from dev environment to production environment. Whatever we check. With which we can say that this is ours. First of all, it is a quality code. It is a performance code. Then the regression test for the bug is proper. And apart from this, whatever integration is done with third party. Whatever test is done. We can say that this is a fully verified and checked code. Now this can be promoted to production. So basically it is a workflow. And what all things are required to have your code in production. Basically they were trying to understand that. So I have also answered this question easily. Because I had experience. I had worked in end-to-end workflow. So this was easy for me. So all these questions are experience based. So you don't have to prepare so much from outside. You work day to day in office. You write a code and take it to production. So you learn all these things. So this is basically the part of workflow. After this, a behavioral question was asked. What do you regret the most in your last project? So this was a decision for me in my last project. Which I explained. Which did not go well. And after that, what were my learnings from it? And how to improve it. So this can be anything. It could be a production bug. It could be anything. Like any situation or any decision which did not go well. And according to that, what is your learning on it? And how are you improving it? So this was a behavioral question. So overall this was a good round. Where we had a good conversation. My interviewer was also an engineering manager. So that was also very technical. So overall this round can be called both technical and behavioral. After this my round was based on DSA. Plus it was a little project related. Here I have mentioned login explicitly. That I was asked a login related question. This question was not straightforward. It was a little tricky. That's why I have put it. So first let me tell you. I was asked two DSA questions. There the first DSA question was. Here I have written the data structure. To solve that question I used hash map and W-linked list. So many people must have guessed. This is a very popular question of these two combinations. Which is asked a lot in product-based companies. So I had read about this. But I didn't remember the exact solution. But while doing some brainstorming, I got the optimal solution. I was able to provide the optimal solution. So here also I started from naive solution. And went to optimal solution. Before using many final hash map and W-linked list. I had mentioned many data structure options. Which did not go well for different scenarios. So whenever I introduced a new data structure. That question was asked. And then I understood that this data structure cannot be used here for this case. So according to that, I gradually modified my data structure based upon the scenarios. Which allowed me to cover the problem statement. And finally, my optimal solution came from these two data structures. So the interviewer was quite happy. That I went from naive to optimal. So one more thing I would like to add here. That whenever you Sometimes it happens that some question is asked that you have done before, and you immediately give the optimal solution within a few minutes. But where you have not done that question before, or you have no idea how it will be solved. So the way you evolve from naive to optimal solution, you can say that it is quite impressive for interviewers, that they are giving hints, and you are able to catch them, and then you are able to improve your solution. So that round was quite good for me. It was a bit tricky, I would say. I found it a bit difficult. So overall, finally I gave the optimal solution. So the interviewer was happy. After that, they asked one more question, which is based on train scheduling. This is also a popular question. You will get it on many YouTube channels. Basically, this question was not data structure specific. Basically for storage, I guess hash map or something was used. But this is mostly computation related. That how will you calculate? And how will you get an optimized solution for this? Basically this question was, let's say you know the number of count for the trains. And then you know the timings. And for that, you have to find an optimized number of platforms. Something like this was the question. You will get this. So this was mostly computation based. Nothing like data structure etc. This was mostly computation based, where I could not give the optimal solution. But I gave two naive solutions, which was pretty good. Not good. It could be better. But it was okay. Within the time constraint. Because in the first question, it took time. In the second question also, I could not get the optimal solution. So overall, I gave the solution. I conveyed my idea further. So the interviewer was happy. After that, the question they asked, it was a logging related. So it wasn't that straight away. You will get to know after some experience. Basically, if you work in any project, we write a generic logging library, from where basically, it doesn't just log, it also logs a lot of metrics. And apart from that, there is a logger, where you get a lot of features. Like you can print anything. It is configurable. It is very extendable. So basically, the question was asked, that a particular thing has to be logged. And how will you log it? And it should be applied on the whole project. It is not just that. The code you are writing, you have to log it for that. No. It should be applied for the project. Whoever is writing the code. And if they want to log it, they can do it. Such a library. And on which layer will you write it? Like, basically, if you are writing something abstract, which can be reused, like a cross project, so it is on a particular layer. I mean, I cannot tell you in details. But, it is library oriented. And this is a bit related to Spring Boot framework also. This also, I will say that, it will not be for SD1 or freshers. Mainly, SD1 also. It may be known, if it has seen or done. But yes, it will not be for freshers. So, overall, these questions are for senior engineers. So, this round was also very good. This round, I mean, I found it a bit difficult. Like, kind of bar raiser round. But, after all, but overall it was good. So, the feedback was also positive. So, these were my 4 rounds, which were conducted for SD2 role in PayPal. So, yeah, I hope, rounds in questions, what type of difficulty level of DSA you must have understood, and behavioral questions also, which I have discussed, what skills they measure with. So, I hope you understand. One more thing, I missed one more thing. In behavioral questions, 1, I mean, skills which they check, that is, listening skill, that you are able to understand the question. And, after that, you are answering. You are not answering immediately. You ask questions. You understand. What are they asking? And then you reply with your solution. So, that also matters a lot. For a senior software engineer role, where they see how calm and composed you are before you are giving any solutions. Okay. After that, CTC, as I am working in PayPal. So, I cannot disclose the CTC. But, I can tell you a range. If I have to tell you a range, then 30 to 45 lakhs per annum CTC. You can take it like this. Okay. This is the range of SD2. I have told you. I guess this will be available in many websites. You can check it out. So, this was it. In this video, I want to tell you what types of rounds are there, what questions are asked, what is the difficulty level, etc. Rest. Hopefully, you liked this video. A bonus tip, which I would like to give you. is that if you are preparing for DSC, then go for intermediate level of, like, intermediate level, medium level of questions. If you practice the lead code enough, if you do hands-on, then you will be able to crack this interview. So, I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then share it. See you in some other video. Till then, bye.